Okay, so you've decided to outsource. Great. But now you might be wondering, well, hey, what does a great partner actually look like? On this episode, we're going to break down the 3 areas that you should be focused on, plus the one thing that nobody talks about. You know what time it is. Let's go! Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Mark, this is Fuel, and on this channel we break down everything that you need to know to outsource your software builds successfully. On the last episode, we talked about the difference between an outsourcing partner and a team extension partner. I'll go ahead and I'll link to that video right up here. We wanted to follow that up with one today that talks about what great looks like in a partner. So let's get into it. When you're talking about evaluating a partner, there is lots of detail in the due diligence process, but if you step back and simplify it, there are really 3 areas that you want to be focused on. The first is the company, the second is the people, and the third is the future state of your project. First up, the company. When you're evaluating a partner, really what you're trying to get down to is, do they have relevant experience for what you need? So that means both in terms of the industries that they've worked in the past, and the tech stack experience that they have. Most tech leaders find their outsourcing partner via word of mouth, and that's great. But if you're building an e-commerce solution and the person who gave you the reference was in fintech, it's not really that useful for you. So ask the hard questions and then ask for references. Now, as part of that process, you also want to get a sense of what is their reputation. You want to understand things like, how do their past clients talk about them? How do their past employees talk about them? And all of those data points add up to create an overall picture of what they're like as a company, which is really, really important because you're going to have a long-term relationship with these people. If the project's big enough, you're also going to want to understand their financial position. The worst case scenario here would be that you commit to a long-term build and 6 months in the company folds. We've seen it happen. Now keep in mind, if your project is small, let's say $10,000, it's probably not worth your time and effort, and the vendor is also probably not going to give you those assurances either. But if the project is big enough and the commitment is long enough, then it's definitely worth de-risking it to ask for those assurances from your partner. Okay, next up, the people. Take a look at the culture. Do staff stick around for a long period of time, or do they kind of burn and churn? Next, have a look at the team that they propose. Have they worked together in the past on projects that are relevant for your requirement? And are they going to propose a team that's got the right mix of skills and seniority for your budget and your requirement? Bear in mind, this is equal parts art and science. What you're after is a partner that understands your constraints and then proposes an appropriate team and budget to meet your requirement. Lastly, a characteristic of a great partner is one that asks great questions. So you should be leaving a call thinking, man, I didn't even think of that. Good questions lead to good outcomes, and that's typically going to be represented in their proposal as well. Okay, finally, you want to think about the future state of your deliverable. A great partner is one that's going to be proactively de-risking that future state for you. That means they're going to be talking about things like IP protection up front, for example, and there's not even going to be a hint of squirming when you talk about NDAs and so on. Contracting should feel like it's a fair exchange of value, but it shouldn't feel like you're getting locked in any type of way that makes you uncomfortable as the client. And finally, they should already be talking to you about what's going to happen at the end of the engagement. So how are you going to manage that deliverable? How easy is it going to be for you to either hire folks internally or move to another partner? These are just some of the things to consider, but the partner should be helping you de-risk that future state before those issues even arise. Okay, we promised you 3 areas to think about. We're going to give you a bonus 4th thing to think about. That's the jerk factor. No, not that jerk. Finding a great outsourcing partner is an investment of time, effort, and money on your part. The relationship needs to feel like a partnership. Not only is life too short, but there's too much risk to deal with jerks. I want to say, can we say? If there's any friction at all in the interview phase, just go ahead and assume that that's going to get ratcheted up to 10 as soon as the pressure increases. These are warning signs you should be paying attention to early. If you found this useful and you're getting value from the video, won't you please go ahead and hit that like button? It means the world to us and it really helps us with the algorithm. That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.